Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Fort Worth, Texas. I am Brian McNamee at the EQN Sports Desk, driven by the Holiday Auto Group. So we are here at the Hooey Jr. Patriot for the rest of the week through next Sunday. But the thing that drives these events, besides the contestants, is our partners, our corporate partners that partner with us, that believe in what we're doing. Today I have with me Mr. Craig Stein, the regional manager of Succeed. Craig, good to have you, man.
Thank you, Brian. It's good to be here.
So let's just go ahead and bail right in. I've heard the name Succeed. I'm around a ton of different events, but what is Succeed?
So Succeed is an all-natural product. We use human-grade material, which is not done in a lot of the supplements that we get. And it's used basically to help a horse digest better. We take a horse out of their natural element when we're using them to do all these kind of events, and we separate them from the herd, and we haul them, we feed them intermittently, and their digestive system is hard for them to keep up. They get ulcerations, not only in their stomach, but in their hindgut. So our product's going to help that horse during times of stress to utilize a lot of what you're already feeding them better and give them some nutrients that they need in that stressful situation to combat the problems that you have when you're using a horse to event, to race, to ride, to hunt, jump, and all the things that stress a horse out.
So they're just like us then. Basically, it all starts with your gut health, and then that affects your performance.
Very true.
So it seems like there are a ton of supplement companies that claim to do the same kind of thing, but they're all fairly new. Tell me about the history of Succeed.
Well, we have to go back about 20 years. I trained standardbred racehorses my whole life. I still have a few. And my veterinarian, Dr. Frank Pellegrini, was my track vet. Unfortunately, he passed away very young. He was very interested in the digestion of a horse, very smart veterinarian. And Marielle had just got through with this study on gastric ulcers. And he thought, well, being a horse is a hindgut fermenter, and their stomach only represents a very small portion of their GI tract, it makes sense that they would have hindgut ulcers as well. Unfortunately, there's no way to look in the back end of a horse until they're passed away. So he took the initiative and went. At the time, Texas still had an abattoir where they euthanized horses, and they used them for meat in Europe. And he got to look at the inside of horses. And sure enough, the pictures, which you can see on our website, of all the ulceration that goes on in the hindgut of a horse. So he started doing some research and figuring out why and what would help. And when we started, it's a little bit of funny, he started bringing me product, and I had about 30 standardbreds at the time, so he kept 15 on my program, which was, I fed everything that I was told was good, electrolytes and MSM and DMG and Lixotonic, and we kept them on my product, and then we put the other 15 horses on the Succeed product, and we drew blood every week, and we weighed the horses every week, and we were starting to get amazed at the results that we were seeing. Not only was their blood work coming back better, but they were gaining weight, and they were shinier, and their attitudes were better, and they were less cranky, and they were more willing to do work, and some of them actually seemed to appear more comfortable, like they weren't, when they went out and they exercised, they weren't all cramped up. And I was getting it originally in little Tupperware containers. He was making it in the bathtub. And it took a minute before, they got the formula right. And when they started, it was slow because at that time on the shelves, like you said, now there's so many products. Back then, they had Fast Track and ProBios were the only two things that even talked about gut health in horses. Fast forward 20 years later, if you look down the digestive aisle in any tech store, there are hundreds of different products. I believe what sets our product aside is two things. One is seeing is believing. Once you use our product, the people that use it, even when they first get started, even in events that we've been recently, a tube or two, they're calmer in the alley. They're more focused. They're not so rambunctious because we're coating their stomach and making them feel better almost immediately. But you don't see the true effects of the product for weeks because it has taken them a long time to get to this digestive imbalance, and it's going to take a minute to get them out of it, but sometimes we see the results very quickly.
Well, and so like you're saying, it makes the horses more comfortable, which makes them more willing, which makes them a better dance partner when it comes time to do the deal.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, you've got over 500 wins just credited to yourself through your program. So what you were seeing and using your horses as the control, and then those other 15 as your test, I mean, that's a testament to it right there.
It sure is, Brian.
So started obviously in standard bred stuff.
Correct.
In that breed. How did you branch out into the Western disciplines? What's your background in that?
Zero. I have no background in that.
Well, not necessarily your background, but the company, like, how did they decide that this is the direction that we need to go?
So I was told by the owner of the company, John Hall, there are millions of quarter horses in the world, and we're only reaching a small amount because we were going after a racing originally because it helped the horse go faster, and in racing we're racing for big purse money, and so we got into thoroughbreds. It was easy to get into standardbreds because I'd been doing it for a while, so that kind of took off right away. Well, we kind of plateaued at some point. Well, he kept saying we have to get into the Western world, we have to get into, you know, the barrel racing world, and it was hard for me because I didn't know anybody. So they started hiring some people that had some connections, and as they started getting in, they asked me to start traveling because, in my opinion, a horse is a horse. It doesn't matter what discipline, they have the same problems. They go through the same stresses. You got to put them on a trailer. You got to take them a long way. All the things that we do to stress our horses out are common among all disciplines. So it was easy to make the transfer. It might have been tough for me to get the jargon right, like, you know, the terms, but I've had some great people working with me, and I've been able to see the differences as it helps, let's say, a barrel racer in the alley. It might be different than helping a guy who's roping one, where his horse is more focused, but we see the same benefits all around. We see a healthier horse. We use the saying healthy from the inside out. It's easy to diagnose a horse when you look at him and he's lame and he's sore somewhere. You can pinpoint it. When a horse is acting fidgety, or he's losing a little weight, or he's just not comfortable, you ship him to a new place, he doesn't want to rest, he doesn't want to drink, he doesn't want to eat. We really don't know what's going on. Well, it's all GI tract related, just like you said with people. When you have a healthy gut, horses are great. We've given some people who have come to the booth and said, yeah, I've got here, my horse hasn't laid down since he's been here, he hasn't eaten, he's not drinking. Here, take a couple tubes, see if it'll help. And they come back and they rave that these horses just turned around in 24 hours, which amazes me because the product takes a minute to work. But if a horse is in a digestive imbalance, anything you do for him is going to help him.
So when they do come to the booth and you talk to them, do you is there like a loading dose that you give, that you recommend?
Good question.
Or do you just kind of start them on a standard dose, like in those extreme situations where you are seeing the results in basically an overnight situation? Is there a loading dose that you're recommending?
That's a really good question. So our product is considered a GRAS product, GRAS, which means it's generally regarded as safe, which means it's been tested up to 5 times the dose, and it's still safe. So yes, we recommend a loading dose because if a horse is having these issues, he needs some help quick. So we recommend to give one in the morning and one at night for the first couple weeks to get him started. If we're here at a show and a guy's telling us, or a young lady's telling us, hey, my horse isn't acting right, we'll give him a handful of syringes. We'll give him 2 a day, and then give him 1 right before you're tacking him up, when you're throwing the saddle on him, because that last dose is going to get in there and help settle that stomach. And just this last show in North Carolina, it was a barrel race. The young lady that I'm working with this trip, Justina Towery, had a young lady came, and her horse was all nervous. He didn't stand well. He ran an 18. She said, I don't know what's wrong with him. He's out of his mind. She gave him some tubes. She come back the next day. The horse ran a 15-1. She said he's never ran that good in his life. She couldn't believe it. She brought her dad. I think her dad and her mom both came back. Both took product. Both horses ran faster, ran better. Now, that's not every horse all the time.
Right. But it's always going to be the outliers.
I'm seeing it more and more. And the more a horse is in a digestive imbalance, the more it's going to help.
So, I mean, honestly, it's just like any athlete before a big game. You're going to feel some nerves. They feel the nerves that we feel. And I know there were times playing football, basketball, whatever, you're not going to feel great before a game. You're not going to want to eat. Even the night before, if you can calm that stomach and just calm the nerves and calm everything down, everything goes so much better.
100% correct.
So how can they find you not only here but those that are watching at home? How can they get in contact with Succeed?
Well, we have a great website. If you just Google Succeed, everything will come up. What's wonderful about our product, and I don't want to pitch it, I don't want it to sound like a sales thing, but we offer what's called a Succeed Challenge. For somebody who's never tried Succeed, we sell it at basically cost, which is a lot cheaper than you can buy it at retail. And it comes with a money-back guarantee, because we have a saying, seeing is believing. Once you try our product and you see the results, you're going to buy it. So to give it to you for what it costs us the first time is a no-brainer for us. Once we get it in your hands and you can actually see the difference it makes in a horse. So if you get on our website, you look at the Succeed Challenge, you sign up, it costs about $315, and that's a 3-month supply. Normally it would cost about $450 in a tack shop, and it's only good, you can only do it once to try it. And the best part is that you get your money back. If you have a horse that's acting up and you don't think it helped that horse, no questions asked. You just send in the receipt, we send you your money back. So if you're looking for it, we try to be at a lot of the shows. We have a lot of retailers. We're sold through all our major retailers, but you can also get it on Amazon. You can get it on Chewy. But I suggest that somebody who hasn't tried it, they try the challenge.
Man, that is like there's no risk.
Right.
No risk to try to get your horses better.
We had less than a 5% return on the over 5,000 challenges we've sold since we've been in business. We've had less than a 5% return. That, to me, that says it all.
That is, the proof's right there then.
Right there.
Absolutely. So what makes the Patriot a good fit?
Well, we've heard that it's a great event, and I think this is our first year here. Again, they're putting me in different spots that I've never been, and I've been traveling with some different people, and we've heard that this is a big event, a great event. We have a lot of people here, a lot of top horses, and one point I wanted to make, the good horses are very stoic. So you've dealt with horses your whole life. They get a problem. You throw a saddle on them, you would never know. They just give you 100%. The issue is that those horses still have problems. You just don't recognize them because they're a tough breed.
They're just playing through it.
They're going to, right. There's like an injury in sports.
Yes.
You know, you're a good player, plays through his injuries. So these horses that are in this imbalance, they go through it. So even your good horses are going to improve a little bit. And we felt like coming here and seeing these top horses, we would be able to get out and reach some of these people and let them try our product, let them see the results for themselves. Because even if you're doing great, there's always room for a little improvement.
And a little improvement, even half a second, bumps you up into the next D, and the results can hit you right there in the wallet. And that's not a bad effect either.
No,
so
I agree. And
healthy horses is the goal.
Faster horses is
not a bad thing, and fatter wallets, bigger bank accounts, even better.
Absolutely.
Well, Craig, I appreciate you joining me this morning. You can check them out over here in the South Hall if you come visit with us here at the Hooey Jr. Patriot in Fort Worth, Texas. If not, check them out at succeedequine.com. And we just look forward to a long partnership and more great success stories from you, Craig.
We'll be back.
Awesome. Well, those are our friends at Succeed. We're here at the Hooey Jr. Patriot until the 15th. So stay tuned right here to EQN Sports. I'm Brian McNamee. All of this is driven by Holiday Auto Group.